Hello and welcome to another episode of The Flying Reporter. Today we're fitting new cylinders to India Victor's engine.
One piston, one set of rings, one very lovely cylinder.
And then we'll give the newly overhauled engine its first run. Wear and corrosion was found in India Victor's engine when it came in for annual, and there was metal in the oil filter. The cylinders were pulled and taken to Norvik Aero Engines for a basic inspection. They found a failed piston gudgeon pin, worn and corroded valves, and cylinders well past their best. An overhaul would have most likely been more costly and more time-consuming than replacing the cylinders with new ones, and so that's what we've decided to do. I was fortunate that Norvik had a set of Continental cylinders in stock, so I grabbed them without hesitation. It's less than 4 weeks since the problem on my engine was first discovered, and the cylinder replacement is going really well. So you join me now in the Aero Anglia hangar, and India Victor is being worked on by engineer Aidan. He's got 5 of the 6 cylinders on, and I'm here to see the 6th one go on.
Right, each ring has got its own part number. Top ring 648039, and they're the gaps that we need to find when we pop back the cylinder.
There are 4 rings that attach to the piston, and Aidan is checking that when they're slotted inside the cylinder bore, each one has the correct gap according to Continental's specifications.
Right in the middle of the limits, it's about 28 thou, even if you take the tightest limit there.
Happy with that?
Smack in the middle, yeah, it's nice.
It all, whenever you've got an engine problem, you're always questioning yourself as the pilot. You know, have I operated this wrong? Have I got the engine too hot? What have I done that's caused this?
Looking at all the other indications, plug colour, they've been cleaned. Plug colour, the general condition, the valves in the old cylinders don't look burnt. They're all rotating. They've all got a nice colour pattern on them. I don't think it's anything you've done. I think it's one of those things. Right. I think it's far more to do with the age of the engine than anything else. Yeah. The engines that don't make TBO for these little irritations or need work before TBO for these irritations, 9 times out of 10 are the 20-year-old under 1,000 hour engines.
Yeah.
These little flying club things, we install them. Sometimes they do 50 hours every 2 weeks, and almost without exception they do 2,400 hours without a cylinder off.
Right. The rings are rotated so that the gaps are not aligned. The pin is inserted and then the piston mated to the cylinder. Fitting it all to the engine block is a 2-person job.
You can grab the thumb knot.
John holds the connecting rod in position while Aidan presents the cylinder and piston forward towards the engine block. When in position, the piston pin is coaxed into place.
It's not, yeah.
It won't go easily because the camera's filming it. So. Oh, yeah. Right, I'll get my fingers out of the way.
Okay. Well, there.
Right, that's fine.
Looks round this
Where's
side.
the
round
hook?
this right opposite.
There.
You got it. Ooh. There.
I suspect many owners kind of send their aircraft off to the engineers, and sometimes they'll have these big jobs done like we're having done here, and then the next time they see the aircraft is when it's all been done and they're flying it and they've got no idea what went into it, and it's just fascinating as an owner and an operator to kind of see it come together like this. And I was thinking as that last cylinder went on, I was thinking and hoping I don't want to see the inside of that cylinder again, probably in my lifetime, quite frankly. Continental specifies the torque parameters for the cylinder bolts, and so Aidan calibrates his torque wrench.
We've calibrated the torque wrench for the simple reason that these torque wrenches are not super accurate. We just need to be getting a very consistent reading because they don't give you, Continental, you look here, a very wide range. We've got 49.2 to 50.8 foot-pounds. Normally you'd have probably plus or minus 5 pounds to play with, but on these you haven't. Because it's a wet torque, obviously static friction is greater than when it's moving. It wants to reach its final torque whilst it's actually moving. So I want to make sure I've got enough throw on the spanner. There.
There's still a lot of work to do, but this is beginning to look like an engine again. And with the final cylinder on, we can now move on to another job. As well as new cylinders, India Victor is getting a new propeller. Watch your back. The old one failed its inspection. It was a 2-blade prop. We're replacing it with this 3-bladed version, which will be quieter, smoother, give us more ground clearance, and according to the manufacturer, the change is performance neutral. There's a bit of prep work to do before it can be fitted to the crankshaft. This hollow section in the middle of the shaft is where the oil flows to control the pitch of the propeller. But over the years, the channel can get a bit gunky.
The old centrifuge effect. That's probably 6 years of oil flowing to and from the prop being centrifuged. And one of the jobs of the dispersant in oil is to try and hold this stuff in suspension. So.
Oh, nice. The excitement of India Victor's pending return to the skies is building here in the hangar, and it's tiring for Richard and John. They're pretending to be inspecting the tail wheel of this yak, but they are in fact taking a nap.
This is the position I like to adopt at work. Sometimes
it suits you.
I just like to have a little snooze, a little 50 winks.
Well, it was 40 winks.
No, 50.
You have to have 50.
I have 50 winks.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Aidan is taking no notice.
There's a little bit of plating coming off, but actually it's not too bad.
He's removed that gunk, cleaned the flange and checked for cracks and corrosion, and it's now time for India Victor to finally get reunited with a propeller. This is as exciting as it gets, folks. I could show you 10 minutes of bolts being tightened up and torqued, but I think you can guess how that goes. Now, they've been ribbing me here in the hangar about my lack of wings these last few weeks, and instead of the flying reporter, they've been calling me the walking reporter. Not only that, they've written me a new theme tune. We need cheering up. We need a song that is in keeping with the amount of money that's being spent on India Victor, and we've got someone here who can help us with that.
I don't know how to play anything, especially not on the slide guitar.
Play me some blues. Do you sing as well?
You don't want to hear that. My playing done cost me a fortune, but that's alright, because I'll no longer be the walking reporter.
They do enjoy the banter here at Aero Anglia, especially at my expense. But as long as they get the job done, I'll take it. Next, the time-consuming task of reassembling the push rods and rockers.
Camshafts behind there, follow as push rods, rocker and valve. It's inlet, that's exhaust, so that'll be the exhaust stroke. Induction, compression. That's the impulse mag went off, now it should be on the power stroke, piston going down, and then hopefully exhaust valve opening. There, exhaust stroke.
One set down, just 6 more to go. I leave Aidan and the boys to it, hoping to return tomorrow to find it ready to run. A new day, and the team has been busy. As well as fitting all the rockers, push rods and rocker covers, they've assembled the exhaust, the fuel lines and the engine baffles. They're connecting up the spark plugs, which can only mean one thing. Aidan?
Well, we're going to try and start it up. And, well, I suppose there's three possibilities.
It goes.
It doesn't go.
It doesn't go, or it goes bang.
Or something else happens. Yeah.
I can't wait to finally hear that engine roar back into life again. But for the guys here, it's just another day in the hangar. Are you as excited as I am about this? I suppose you...
Possibly not. But there you go.
With the new cylinders, we're following the engine manufacturer's guidance, which involves as few ground runs as possible to check everything is running properly, engine parameters are stable and there are no leaks. So talk me through the first run. What are we looking to do? What are our limitations? What's the plan?
We've already got the oil pressure up, cranking it, so it's pre-oiled. So hopefully it will start, run not exceeding 800 for the first minute, gradually up to about 1000 RPM after 4 minutes and shut down. Let the cylinders cool down, have a little look round, and then we'll probably cowl it before we do any more running because it really needs as much cooling as it can get.
I know these guys see this all the time, but I tell you what, I'm really excited to see this. It's always worrying when you get such a big problem go wrong with your aeroplane. You know, it's become my life really, and to be without it for a month has been painful. But looks like we're on. We're going to do it. Good old India Victor, not letting me down. She's never had to be asked more than once to start, and even after all this work, the engine fires into life first time.
Well, it smells a bit oily, but it doesn't seem too bad for oil pressure. Charging. Oh, so far so good.
That was impressive.
It's just start a stopwatch.
What's that flapping around?
I think it's a bit of that cowl strip. It's not so exciting from now on. Hopefully we'll get just a little bit of CHT just to prove it's working. Oh yeah, it's coming.
We stuck strictly to just 4 minutes running before shutting down. On inspection, the rocker covers were weeping a little oil and so needed tightening up. The cowling was reattached before we did another short second run as night fell. We'll have to wait another day before taking India Victor on an air test. Join me next time to see how that goes, and we'll be discussing the break-in procedure for the new cylinders. My thanks to Aero Anglia for putting India Victor back together again. If you're enjoying my videos, please subscribe. It really does help with this channel's visibility, and it costs you nothing at all. Until next time, fly safely, my friends. Bye for now.